Cześć wszystkim, z tej strony Kurogoda i zapraszam was do Mushroom Oasis. Kolejny odcinek, wiem. Jest dzisiaj już chyba dzień trzeci tej gry. Więc zaczynajmy. Cześć wszystkim, z tej strony Kurogoda. Chciałam wam bardzo podziękować za ilość wyświetleń pod ostatnim filmem. Nie wiem, ile będzie teraz po tym, jak wrzucę ten film, ale myślę, że tam trochę więcej niż co na screenie. I mam nadzieję, że ten film wam spodoba i równie ciepło będzie potraktowany, ponieważ spędziłam nad nim trochę czasu, zwłaszcza nad samym montażem oraz miniaturką. Subskrybujcie mój kanał, dajcie lajka jeśli chcecie. Oraz życzę wam bardzo miłego dzionka oraz wieczora. I no cóż, lecimy! Dobra, z racji tego, że mój ostatni file, no jakby to powiedzieć, nie chce się odpalić, to musiałam przez 20 minut? Może pół godziny. Nie wiem ile czasu ogarniać to wszystko, czyli skipować ogólnie cały ten proces. I pomyślałam, że zatrzymam się przed zaczęciem trzeciego dnia. Po prostu tego nostalgii, nie wiem. I could feel the blush rush to my face. I could dunk my whole head in the river, and it would probably let out stream. Sorry, that comes out of nowhere. It just didn't feel right if I didn't say anything. I hope you understand. An awkward silence passed between the two of us. Anyway. I caught him mumbling under his breath. I can't let you leave. On ma takie yandere motoron. Ja muszę znaleźć jej kota. What? I said, you can't leave. I mean, not without your cat, right? I frowned. I've already tried, Michael. Like you said, it was stupid for me to just wander off in the woods as if I would find her through dumb plug. Paused, his fist clenching. But I haven't. Huh? I haven't tried. I know these woods better than anyone. I can try looking for her. Yandere motoron. But that means you can't leave yet. Maybe I appreciate the offer, but I don't think I should stick around any longer. I have a job and responsibilities and Michael. And if he's in pain, a sudden migraine overcoming your senses. Michael. You felt sick, your stomach rolling itself into a knot. It felt like the world was swarming around you and your legs whooped. Your body bucked over as you resisted the urge to vomit. Michael caught you as he slumped gracefully to the ground, your head resting on his shoulder as he cradled you close. Hey, you don't look so good. Your vision dulled as he spoke, his speech using together words in that terrible mess. Are you okay? You need me to carry you home? Okay, no problem. Just head in there. Hand onto me. This is good. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You don't deserve this. If I could just one more day with me. One more day with you. Czemu mi się mylą słowa? I would be the happiest man alive. Here we are. Let's get you tucked in. I should give you some clothes. Especially since you would be staying another night. You're okay with that, aren't you? Uh, I blinked, grossly awake to the gentle sound of the cracking fire. The rich texture of worn bed sheets, the weight of heavy, knit blanket. I could recall once or twice having felt these very sensations to the point I would consider them familiar and comforting. And yet... O kur... Co ty tak blisko robisz, człowieku? Nothing could prepare me for the bright yellow eyes peering into mine. Michael? Michael, nie. No! Ja że... My true reaction. I odpycham. My knuckles hit him square in the face as Michael yelped. Those cuts hit him suffer backward into us. He landed on his rear with the grace of a clumsy toddler on the floor. Boże święty. I sat up in a panic and immediately grimaced, landing bad on the bed and uncertainly it hit me in one fell swoop how my whole body was itching. Every single one of my limbs felt like I would gone through a ringer and come out the other side all crinked and wrong. I grabbed aloud, leaning my head back on the pillow. I'm sorry, Senpai. I just got scared. Michael flipped back onto his feet, rubbing his nose. Uro. It was an awkward croak before he cleared his throat. I'm glad you're awake. How are you feeling? Terrible. He visibly flinched. I'm sorry to hear that. He stepped closer to the bed, leaning over warily in case my head dramatically whips out again in self-defense. With my hand set on my lap, he deemed it safe enough to sit beside me. What happened, Michael? Oh, you don't remember? I shook my head, wincing a bit of my head bounce. Not at all. Michael hesitated. I tripped and hit your head. I had to carry home? Widać, że on tu kłamie. Kłamie nam w żywe oczy. Ale to nic, stary. Kocham cię całym moim sercem. His words almost slurred together as he fidgeted my head. You sure, Michael? He slowly lifted my hand to feel for downs or bruises, but he snatched my wrist. Don't worry about that. Here, have this. It will help. Michael gave me a familiar looking drink as he quickly pressed the cup into my hands. Standing up with some effort to take a sip, I couldn't help a small sense of deja vu. The amount of times I woke up in his bed, dozed and disoriented, is almost uncomfortable now. At least the drink was helping just like he promised. My body felt light as I finished. Michael took the cup from me and set it aside before reading his hand together with a nervousness I haven't seen in a while. So, I'm sorry this happened. I didn't mean for you to get hurt. I signed and waved aside his worry with an embarrassed grumble. Wouldn't be the first time I tripped, if you could believe me. If you could believe it. It's not your fault. Give a soft chuckle, but it sounded guilty. I suppose you're right. I just. His face looked like he had a million thoughts running through his head. He's overthinking. I promised, didn't I? I said I was gonna look out for you. I said I was gonna keep you safe. Instead, I. I made you hurt. His voice cracked. I'm so sorry, Kuro. The sudden change in the mentor was starting to say the least. You couldn't have predicted it was gonna happen. And I'm fine. See? Oh, Firefly. I, I guess you're right. His expression carried a lightning doubt, but he quickly masked it with a small smile. His eyes dimmed. In that case, you will be staying? The way he said it almost sounded like a decision that has already been made. Or a plea. What do you mean? His eyes dark aside. He agreed to let me find Aurora, remember? Did I say that? Yeah. So, you'll be staying away longer, right? He didn't even let me get a word in. In fact, a feeling of uncertainty washed over me, as if we had this conversation before. Besides, nie przerywaj mi, kur. What's the rush? It's already late, and you are in no condition to travel anyway. I blinked before glancing out the window. Pitch black darkness greeted me as I realized he was right. Yet another uncanny feeling spread through my chest, shivers claving down my spine. I don't know why, but something about the whole situation felt wrong. I, I feel like I'm forgetting something else. Micah had a nervous look on his face. Maybe you hit your head harder than you thought? His word didn't sound confident. How long was I out? A couple of hours, I think. You all really took a hit. It was that bad? My brows crossed. I tried to recall the day's events, but I don't remember tripping. There was a river. I, I remember you. And then. And then. Your memory must be fuzzy, and for good reason. After all. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. To nagłe burczenie w brzuchu. O Boże, ja będę montowała to dość długo. My stomach rumbled suddenly, hung in the quiet room. There was a heavy silence right after. Mike was polite enough to hide his knuckles under a palm as they flushed. He seems relieved. Well, lucky for you, I've got a dinner on the way. It should be ready soon. You're okay with soup, right? soup. Soup sounds alright. My stomach growls once more. The pain of an empty gut making me want. My host noticed immediately. Oh, maybe we should get you some food sooner than later. Do you feel okay enough to get up? I nodded with a grumble, swinging my legs over the side of the bed before noticing something was on my lap. Wait, what's this? Oh my god! Pens better! A mushroom pattern. That's oddly cute. The material felt warm but comfortable. A towel laid right next to them. Is this for me? Oh, I figured since you will be staying another night, you would want some fresh clothes. They might be a few sized bigger. Or a lot. Sorry. You would get shy for some reason. On the other hand, I did not have to take a whiff to myself to know that I'd probably reek. I nodded again, giving him a small but graceful smile. They are fine, Michael. Thank you. Yet another thing I had to tell him. I couldn't have feeling like I'm taking advantage of his kindness now. So, you know where the bathroom is? Take your time cleaning up. I will be in the kitchen if you need anything. I'm really happy you're here. He stood there for a good few seconds, fiddling with his hands as if he wanted to say more before finally heading to the kitchen. I watched him back retreat before hoisting himself up and heading to the bathroom. Boże, jak trudno mi się powoli czyta już rzeczy po angielsku, bez jakiegokolwiek śmiania się lub przerywania. Ja bardzo was przepraszam. Jeszcze na dodatek jestem chora, mega zakatarzona, więc dodatkowy problem dla mnie. So well, now that I was alone, I had a moment to gather my thoughts. The nagging feeling was back, a freaking feeling across my skin, racing gallstones, as if to tell me I shouldn't be here. I just couldn't place my finger on what. Że kurczę, trudny wybór, bo teoretycznie tak, powinnam być ostrożna, bo jakby Michael nam kłamie w żywe oczy i chcemy się byli jak najdłużej, ale z drugiej strony my chcemy, by być z nim jak najdłużej. Albo właściwie ja, nie wiem. I'm just being paranoid. Then again, it's been a while since I've showered, so I could shovel it up to dirt accommodating. Jak się to mówi? I could chuck it up to dirt accommodating on me and making me itch in place I didn't want to think about. After undressing, I pulled my clothes so I could place them in my backpack before turning on the shower. Czego się Kuba spodziewałaś? And the answer was ice cold. My teeth shut as I clenched myself as fast as I could, using some sketch soap by the side of the tub. Dressing myself again, I wrung out my hair as best as I could before drying it with a towel. Putting on the clothes Michael provided, I felt like I had shrunk in size. I adjusted the sleeves and waistband to my liking, with some struggling, just so my hands and feet could back out of my comfortably. I couldn't help noticing that the clothes smelled like freshly cut grass with a smoky hint of woodsy bonfire. This scent reminds me of camping in summer. Persistent depth aside, I definitely felt way better compared to when I woke up. Stepping out, I could smell something good out coming from the kitchen. A gentle humming greeted me as I came through the doorway. Michael was idly Michael was idly stirring a pot by a stove. Kurwa, czemu ja nie umiem mówić po angielsku? Michael was idly stirring a pot by the stove, looking up at me as I entered the kitchen. Whatever he had in that pot made my stomach grumble yet again. Kurwa. How did they fit? I shrugged. They're definitely bigger on me. He nodded, turning back to the pod. I can see that. I wasn't sure what you normally wear, so I went with whatever I had that was. He struggled to pick a word. Coziest? Michael, masz definitywnie rację. Ja uwielbiam cozy rzeczy. Nie wiem, ja mam taką fajną, że miałam taką fajną bluzę, w której się czułam mega komfortowo i było trochę na mnie za dużo, ale uwielbiam ją. Teraz nie wiem, co się z nią stało. I give a hum of agreement, blending with the hem of his sweater. Was I really about to do this? I guess I was. With the covenants of the cunning with nothing to lose, I leaned against the doorway, making sure to prop my hip in just the right angle against the edge. I think I look good in your clothes. Maybe I should wear them more often. With how doggy clothes were on me, I probably look closer to a sentient sack of potatoes than a human being. Muszę siebie narysować w tym stroju. Nie ma bata, w którym flirtuję z Michaelem. Michael must have seen something was different with my tone, as he gave a confused chuckle with his tail that simply swing side to side. I guess it could. I'm pretty sure most of them would fit right. On the third, I continued on. I could have finding some more comfortable. I seen smooth wink I could master. Wink? Mieliśmy zamknięte okno. This is just cute. I need it. He seemed to consider my offer. I thought I found the right outfit, but I can look to the closet for something you like now that you're awake. Um, do you have something in your eye? I I strained it softly. I'm just trying something, I guess. Trying what? Never mind. Oh, what's looking good looking? Teraz załapał! Against odds, his cheek actually became the color. His hands stained the pot, faltering for a brief second. What? On, on nie załapał naszego flirtu, ale teraz załapał. To really My jesteśmy aż tak słabi z flirtami? Wait, this might actually work. I bolstered my efforts, leaning forward with one little smile. You heard me, he said. He hesitated to repeat it. Well, maybe you should get your eyes checked. Are you serious right now? Yeah, this is a terrible idea. I cleared my throat awkwardly. Thank you for the clothes. He must have done something wrong again, as he quickly tried to salvage whatever the hell was going on. For what it's worth, you look very... Huh? What the fuck did you just... Greek chain? What the fuck? Thought that was natural. Whatever it was... Whatever it was, this is a strange click of tongue. Co to znaczy? But with vowels somehow? What? He hopped waving side to side like a metronome. It means he trailed off. I guess in your language it means cute? Czekajcie. To musi być w jakimś języku. Nie wygrał nic w tłumaczu Google, więc... To prawdopodobnie jakiś oryginalny język, którego nie znamy. Huh? Cute? He smiled far as he fidgeted. He stared at each other. I might actually have a chance? The color of his face was closer to a blueberry the longer I looked at him. There was enough awkward tension before I broke it with a nervous laugh. Cute? In fact, in fact, I could swear I heard him whimper in panic. I wish it was so absurd I had to laugh harder. Was that so hard to say? He sputtered. I didn't think you would be comfortable with me saying it. Why not? Well, what do I know? Megrin was teasing as he picked up on that quickly, his nervousness dissipating as he gave a sharp huff. His hands stirred the pot faster. So I called you cute. It's not a big deal. Then why is your face so blue like it is? You made another chucking noise. I starting about. It's just the heat from the stove. I'm cooking my best here. He snickered at his terrible excuse. You're a bad liar. But it's true. Stovetops don't do that. Mine does. A glaring contest ensued before we ended up bursting in a fit of giggle, my face squirming from a silly banter. The kettle started whizzing down, cutting our moments short. He seemed disappointed by the shift in the atmosphere, but quickly moved to pick it up. Why don't you think I said firefly? No, nie powiedziałam butterfly. I'm sorry. I'll be right with you. He was already turning his back towards me to start preparing the tea. I slowly approached him. Hey, let me help you this time. Michael started, surprised to see me beside him. Oh, sure. Could you get some bowl ready? We're having potato soup. Pomidorowa! Like, ja z każdym momentem cię bardziej uwielbiam, nie, że coś. Oh, do you want some grilled cheese with yours? Or would you prefer garlic bread? Szczerze? Nigdy nie próbowałam pomidorowej, albo z grillowanym serem, albo z bread. Bo garlic bread to był czosnkowy chleb. I like grilled cheese. Get it? I brushed past him, feeling his tail lined by my ankle as I grabbed the bowls and spoons from the bottom shelf. He started preparing the sides, smell of toast bread filling the kitchen, and milling with the soup. I took over preparing the tea. Finally, I laid the soup from the pot into a leather bowl just as Michael finished flipping the last piece. A, ja jestem taka głodna. Ja przed chwilą jadłam. He settled in for a nice hot dinner. Regardless of how it felt about tomato soup, my cuts turned out rich and creamy with amazing balance of sour and sweet. Dripping in the bite-sized grilled cheese sandwiches made it taste like pure sourly comfort, crisp and gross. Czy goes. Jak to się czytało? Goes. Nie gross, tylko goes. Goose. I don't know how to pronounce, sorry. Even if I've never had it as a kid, it still made me feel nostalgic somehow. There's still a feeling of still awkwardness, but the food helped ease us both into warmer, lighter conversation. I didn't realize how hungry I was until I refilled my bowl. Michael watching me with his chin propped in his hand. His own bowl sat empty. Apparently, he would already had it filled. Is tomato soup your favorite? His question was innocent, for my eyes were observing me carefully as I shrugged. I think I will love anything you cook. Oh! He stilled, taking a second to provide what I said. Oh! Well, thank you. No, thank you. Usually I get takeout or microwave dinners. Nothing beats home cooked food. What's a microwave? I think I try to explain it the best I can. A metal box that heats a food. That sounds like what's the word in those fantasy book? Magic? Am I using that word right? I laugh lightly. Sometimes science is just like that. We talk about other kitchen appearances off the top of my head, slowly branching out other human inventions. He seems even more interested. I never understood how, technology? Technology worked. I pulled out my phone and let him fiddle with it. Still with the battery he did, there's not much I could show. He was clearly disappointed. It's about as useful as a brick? For now. Otherwise, I would have a whole network of information in my hands. His eyes lit up. Like a library? And you can access it at any time as long as the batteries is alive? And as long as I have an internet connection. Right. Right, internet. I didn't know you could do that. I just see people staring at them all the time. It seems boring. He looked at my phone again, a look of wonder on his face. Having a whole library in your hands. Everyone must be really smart then. Not really, man. Not really. Some people are just dumb little munchkins. Really. Well, not everyone used it like a library. More like a messaging hub or a sort of content consumption. His ears legacy is on me with a blank smile. Consumption? You can eat it? To jest po prostu zbyt urocze. Yeah, he has no clue what I'm talking about. How do I explain to him the very concept of wealth to zero and clench my throat, deciding that I simply won't? Maybe I can show you what I mean someday. His eyes burned, seeming to like that idea a lot. You mean that? I can have some? Yeah. I think it's about the time you start getting a little more modern around here. No offense. Imagine what you could do with a generator. His smile wasn't like that. Sure, there's still a clueless to his face that was just a little endearing. Generator? I laughed and reached across about his head. A gesture that made me. Like I said, I will show you someday. A loud thwack thumped against the floorboard, followed by rhythmic thudding. Leaning over, I could see the tip of his tail was wagging back and forth, the tip of it slapping against the floor almost comically. I could look flustered as he laughed softly, like pulling his hand back to rub his neck. Sorry. He looked like he had more to say, but he exhaled heavily, gathering himself before tittling his chin fuck, towards my empty bowl. Are you done? I nodded as he stood and collected our dirty dishes, heading towards the sink to wash them. I followed close behind carrying the mugs. He made quick work of the dishes, heading back to the living room to relax. Micah headed to his basket of cleaning materials, his movements routine. I wasn't sure what to do with myself. I looked over at Michael as he pulled out the stool from the corner of the room towards the front of the fireplace. His ears flicked in my direction before he returned my glance. Do you need? A little. He smiled softly. A little is enough sometimes. Can I see what you're working on? He looked surprised, not expecting my interest. Sure. It's just something to work on in my downtime. Halfway through, I started to realize that maybe it's not really my color. He lifted it up for me to see, only for my foot to kick the basket and something about you're running towards the bed. Oh, sorry. I quickly followed after, only to hold I spotted something under the bed. It was the end of the bright firelight within the room. Approaching the bed and lifting my head lower, I could see it was a tin container the side of a shoebox. What's that? Michael looked up. Under your bed. It is something important? I as the look came across his face. Oh, it's just some emergency supplies. Nothing too special. I had and thinking it was something more, but I figured I would let him keep his privacy without prying anymore. I see. Coś będzie z tym pudełkiem. Coś na pewno będzie z tym pudełkiem, mówię wam. Michael watched me for a moment or two before clearing his throat. Hey, Firefly? Hmm? I've been meaning to ask. Do you remember what you said at the river? The river? Oh, where I tripped. I pursed my lips in thought. Not really. Everything feels fuzzy to me. He seems disappointed. Oh, not even a little? I remember, babe. I shook my head. Why did I say something stupid? Just thanks. It made me happy. Oh god, I think I did say something stupid. Before I could ask about it, he would already gestured towards the bed. Well, you should get some sleep, Firefly. Wanna wake up nice and early to find out, right? The idea of looking for my cat once made me ill. You really think we will find her? Michael looked on edge, pocketing his hand. It doesn't hurt to try, but it does hurt to hope. His face twitched. Well, his ears flat as he thought something to say, clearly struggling. He finally opened his mouth to respond. It was slow and careful. I'm here for you. Thank you, Michael. He nodded, a strange mixture of polite happiness and hidden anxiety playing across his face. He is probably not used to another person sticking around this long, let alone someone going through a loss he could care less about. Maybe I've been enough of a burden to him. Actually, can you just send me home? He browsed, surprised, his posture straight in surprise. Are you sure? But what about Aurora? Don't you want to see if we can find her? I'm sure. Oh, he's disappointed. A look of appreciation across his, yeah, apprehension. But it's so soon. Aurora, I can, please. I can't think about her right now. I just want to go home. He fidgeted with the sleeve of his cardigan. But I. It looked like he had so much more to say, but whatever her turmoil going on his head was quickly swept behind a reassuring smile. Okay, get some sleep, Firefly. We have been through a lot. He went to collect his blanket again, already arranging them into the nest like the night before. The words left my mouth before I could think twice. Do you wanna use the bed tonight? He stopped in his track. Oh, no, I don't mind the floor. I mean, we would be sharing the bed. Really out loud just made me want to stop myself across the face. Just slap myself across the face. Michael blinked at me before laughing slightly. My bed is too small for two people, don't you think? I don't think it would be comfortable for either of us. He eyed the bed frame before looking back at me. I will be alright. With that, he crouches on the floor and starts sitting up his bed. Yes, I laid down and focused and faced the wall. the sharp sting of embarrassment in my chest refusing to go away. Why did I ask that? That was so stupid. Zrobiłeś dobrą rzecz, po prostu Michael jest idiotą i nie zrozumiał, że do serialu chcieliśmy dobrze. Maybe I need a sense of comfort. Or maybe I just needed him. Whichever it was, at least he took it at face value. I wasn't sure what I would even do if he said yes. I groaned internally and shut my eyes, willing myself to go asleep. The last thing I heard was the gentle cracking of the fireplace, accommodated by Micah, and Nina was spinning away in the dark. Before I knew it, I could hear birds chirping outside the window. The first thing I noticed was the fire must be out, considering I couldn't hear the familiar fire puppet snap that come with the room's ambience. The second thing I realized was the heart finishing in my shoulders awake. Wake up, sleepyhead! I stirred, yelling as I sat up in bed. Micah beamed, head still on my shoulder. There you are! Had a good sleep? I mumbled innocently, incoherently. His smile went into a grin as I blinked myself out of my woozy state. If I didn't know any better, he seemed to enjoy waking me up in the morning, just to see in this rounded expression. Breakfast is ready. Wash up and meet me in the kitchen, alright? Give me a second. He took that as my assets, coming in his response. Suddenly his hand reached out to shove my hair messy on my bedhead's footer. Hey! I merely laughed at my indignant scream before reminding me once more to get up his desk and ready to lead towards the kitchen. Recovering after a moment, I stared at the wall and pondered my situation for a second as I made my way to the bathroom. This was the third day since I've left my house. I'm missing work, missing my cat, and missing my sense of direction. I'm gonna get to my file today. Finally reminding myself of my goal, I padded to the bathroom, freshed up, and joined him in the kitchen. Michael was already settled cooking into some pancakes. My favorite. His smile was bright as I entered the kitchen, his tail flicking close to my seat as I sat down. Czemu jedzenie wygląda tak apetycznie w tej grze? Serio. To jest też chyba lepsze niż gdybym miała dostać tosty francuskie od Alana. Really. Similar stack of mouth-watering pancakes was placed across him, waiting for me to dig in. I couldn't bring myself to muster up an appetite with so many toffee in my head. He seems to notice the look of on my face, laughing nervously. You look serious. Something on your mind, Firefly? I pick up my fork, dealing with it. I'm just worried about getting home. Michael felt as he lifted a piece of his mouth. Oh! You're still thinking about that? Michael, yeah. Yeah! Don't do this, eyes. He seems annoyed, which was a first. Of course! I've been gone for 3 days. People probably think I've gone missing. His gaze lowered, almost grumbling. Is that so bad? What? Yeah, it is bad. Why do you sound like you don't even care? Micah frowned, looking up at me now. Proszę nie bądź na mnie zły, przepraszam, zostanę z tobą. Why do you sound like you are desperate to leave? What? It is all you ever think about. Are you not happy here? It is not enough? I sighed, rubbing my fingers over my eyes. Michael, we are gone over this. I've said what once, and I will say it again. You've done so much for me already. But I can't keep pretending everything is okay here. I want to go home. I need to go home. He sucked in a deep breath, grunting something in indecipherable under his breath. I've just only wanted to. He seems to be battling himself before he finally signed. I'm sorry. You're right. Of course you're right. His tone seems genuine. Even if he hurt in his eyes was clear as day. I will send you back today. I narrowed my eyes. I mean this time, I promise. He held his hand over his chest. I swear on my heart. I mean, how could I not trust him? He was my last hope. Okay. I paused for a moment before adding quickly, thank you. He nodded and went back to eating, watching me expectantly as he took a timid bite. It was a moment before he swallowed and spoke again. Can you promise me something? His voice was quiet and, for a lack of better word, vulnerable. What is it? Promise me. His mouth hung open for a second or two before he laughed. Promise me you weren't lying where you said you liked my cooking. I snored. Are you kidding? Do I look like the kind of person to lie? I'm offended, Michael. He laughed again, light and airy. But if I dared to look closer, I could tell it was fake. He probably didn't want to make our last moments tense and awkward. The least I could do was meet him halfway. Before long, we found ourselves walking down another path from Michael's. The road was different today, probably because he didn't have any details in mind. He walked in silence for a while. The only thing accompanying us were the sound of nature and our footsteps. I couldn't tell what Michael was thinking. I knew he wasn't the talkative type unless spoken to, but right now he seems eerily quiet. His back was tense, eyes looking nowhere but forward. My voice was itching to say something, anything, but I felt like the both of us had some thoughts of biggest despite it being easier to just say it out loud. Still the silence was getting unbearable, so we both hung in our steps, and the sound of confronting Michael's ears banging in our direction. What was that? His hand was already racing to hold his crossbow, justly decorated with an experienced polo of this drink until a solid click was heard. Stay quiet. Stay close. I swallowed, my heart picking up speed. He started talking low towards the source of the noise, his boots barely making a sound compared to my clumsy footsteps. The rustling continues sounding like Shop was going between the bushes, closer, closer, until my ears been unfamiliar high-pitched sound. It sounded like a tiny infant screaming. As morbid, I can actually relax and recognize it. Tapped as a rabbit. Its small, delicate foot, all through a strap. Its little body trembles at the breath fast and shallow, no doubt scared out of its mind. Michael recorded it empathetic, empathetically before unloading his crossbow, disturbed by cut off rabbit, but at the same time relieved at the absence of dread. Just a rabbit. Just keep going then. My mouth dropped in shock. And leave that poor thing behind? Teresa, a brow confused and Bellyman. Yes? But it's going to die. His face twitched in the confusion. That's generally what happened to prey animals, yes. We can do that. Look at it. His expression was understanding, a little annoyed. I am. Someone left a trap. A rabbit gets caught in it. That's how it works. What do you want me to do? Set it free? Obviously. He was frowning now. Co ty sobie Kuba myślałeś? I can't. If someone is nearby, they will be suspicious. How the cat got free. Does that matter? Animals escape traps all the time. The poor thing is suffering. Bro, I know you're smarter than this. If it doesn't die today, it will die tomorrow. To a trap, to a fox, to a hunter. It probably won't even survive long with its injured foot if we set it free. You're prolonging the inevitable. Can you put it out of its misery then? He hesitates. Do you really want me to do that? No. But even then, we don't even know if anyone's coming back for it. The thing looks so old. He sighed impatiently, looking stubborn on his decision. That's the point of the trap. It's to keep things right where they are until you come back. Michael, ja się z tobą nie zgadzam. Ja tym razem zgadzam się z naszą SN, ponieważ SN tutaj bardziej empatyczna niż ty. For real. The way he said it just rubbed me the wrong way. Że jakby tak, on jest realistykiem, ale empatia. Cold-headed person song. Wait. Tak. Zrobimy quick save'a. Na wszelki wypadek. Potem zrobię jakby oddzielny filmik, w którym wybieramy, że no jednak jest statystyczny trochę. In a way his logic made sense, but still, I could hardly believe how needlessly reckless he was being. For someone so sweet with his hands, he was so indifferent about the poor rabbit shaking at our feet. I looked down at it once more, my heart breaking as it started to squeak. Michael. Please? My heart was torn as the rabbit almost kicking his feet, heart quickly. For a moment, I imagined Aurora being caught in a trap, just like it's one. No, we can't leave it like this. Please, Michael. His harsh gaze stared to soften at my plea. Does it matter that much to you, Firefly? I nodded quickly without hesitation. Please. It will be the last time I will ever ask for anything. He paused for another moment before shaking his head with a defeated sign. Somehow I doubt it's the last time. There was a smile in his voice though. But alright, I will do it for you. Then back, I have prayed open. My gratitude was clear on my face as he pulled out the deadly looking hunting knife from his pocket, kneeling down next to the rabbit. The terrified creature started to wrestle all over again, this time of looming thread. Micah grinning as he knelt down firmly. He started to fall still under his hold, relaxing completely with his foot hanging limp. Huh? He sure had a way with animals. I backed away to give him space, not wanting him to distract them. As he was working to free in the rabbit, I looked around to take in my surroundings. The tree felt somewhat familiar. A flash of memory bring in my mind. Casting one last glance towards Michael's back, I wandered a bit further away, making sure to stay within earshot. It took a few steps before I came across a familiar sign. Oh, it was a stack of mushrooms from the other day. I recalled that Aurora was definitely there. I hesitated at the edge of it, a sourceless sense of fear suddenly coursing through me as I stared at it. Had it grown bigger? The longer I stood there, the more the fear my limbs then placed in urging me forward. Before I realized it, my foot was already lifting to approach it. Closer, closer. During it, the query over my mind. My face was warm. I found myself smiling at the uncovering familiarity, like recalling a full memory, like greeting an old friend. I fell down, inspected the ground, reaching out to brush my hand on one of the mushroom cover. Whoa! There's someone on deck my brisk bag. What? Don't. Huh? Don't touch those. Michael? I look up to see Michael swimming over me. It's sharp and eerie set shaped like thin silvers. You have a terrible habit of wandering off, don't you? I gulped. I just. How is the rabbit? Is it safe? His eyes narrowed as I failed to chance to change the subject. It's really you ask. Don't touch those. Michael squeezed my wrist before letting go. I rubbed my wrist. It didn't hurt, but his grip had intent. Why? What's wrong with them? Mm, nothing. Just don't touch them. I just thought it looked pretty. After all, did you? Huh? I shook my head, feeling disoriented as my mind flicked between thoughts rapidly, like a broken radio station. Micah snapped his fingers for my attention. Look at me, Firefly. His voice was nippy and irritated. I, I blinked rapidly to ground myself, scratching my head as he tried to gather my thoughts. Talk to me. Say anything. Some people think they're magic. Yeah, they are pretty common belief with mushroom rings. I at it. I hung on to that though. Keep going. Like related to folk or it's why they're called fairy rings or a fairy cycle. Micah was going before easing. Is the matter just a little less tense compared to before? They do look like they could come on a portal at any moment, a whiskey away. I looked over at Michaels, expecting him to look amused. Instead, we had glaring down at the ground, as if the mushrooms were the most thing he would even see. No, it's more of an invasive species than anything else. I followed his gaze towards the harmless trickle of fungus. They are? Should we do something about it? Uh, he blinked as if coming out of a daze. No, no, no. Sorry, it's, I thought that slipped out. He pinched his nose bridge. Ah! His normally soft voice, a tired grumble. Normally, I would leave them alone to do their business, but having you there. Anyways, you don't touch it, okay? I was being far too upright about something as trivial as a circle of mushrooms. It feels like there's more to it than that. His I was exasperated. They just grew in my part of the forest. It is all. They make me uncomfortable. It definitely feels like Michael wanted is a stronger word than uncomfortable, a barely concerned growl between his teeth. Why? I thought you like mushrooms. Michael is flattered. Not this one. They're not even real mushrooms. They are not? No. He seems to hesitate before bluttering. They just happen to mimic mushrooms. Oh, I've never heard of something like that. So they are some pretty weird foliage out there could copy the look of nearby plant. Does it have a name? He browsed started in confusion. What? Them? Yeah, you know, as it the species? Oh, uh, I'm not entirely sure. I can recognize them by sight rules, so just stick with me when we're out in the woods, okay? I really don't want you anywhere near them. Alright, if you say so. Dobra, theory time. Michael jest ewolucją tych grzybów, bo on sam powiedział, że to nie są grzyby. Taki, nie wiem, on może być tego kurwa całą częścią, ponieważ te grzyby zachowują się dosłownie, że mają taką samą właściwość co Michael, czyli no, mogą tam trochę, kurwa, jak się to mówi po polsku, mind manipulation, hipnotyzacja, a, my head. Anyway, I just don't get how can we invent it all. I consider it insane when they come on my property. It is really getting this angry for cute mushrooms. I'm gonna be honest. You're acting really weird about it, Michael. He was getting more agitated. The longer he stood there, his hands clenching into tight fists. I szczerze, ta morda to jak patrzę na czyjś wylew, kiedy Nie, ktoś mnie oznacza i jest jeden wielki wylew. My reaction. Bro, I know I ask a lot from you, but please just leave them alone, okay? Why? Damn! Okay! Look, can we just... I flinch, backing away from him as his voice rang through the trees. Chyba on teraz zauważy, co w tym momencie popełnił. I saw it pass between us before he took a deep breath. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Please can we step away from here? He held out his hand. Fingers were trembling. Oh, we made him happy. I closed my head around his, noticing the way his teeth flicked so hard it against my hip leg. And his fingers were close against my own, reaching a dull familiar sensation. I stepped up beside him, looking at him expectantly. Oh, I didn't think you would take it. It was my turn to get flustered. You're offered. I know I did. I thought I scared you. So I figured. We waited for the other to say something. Our faces growing heated as seconds passed. He finally laughed, explained something strange, and cared before squeezing my hand. Laura, you're really something special. I hope you realize that. He gave my hand another tight squeeze, snapping me out of my daydream. Let's get you home, Firefly. Michael took the lead, his body and sort of confident. He must not as my unsteady gait beside him, as he stubbornly moved towards a clearer path I could easily follow. I didn't verbalize it, but I was definitely grateful for that. As much as the forest was carrying on me, getting my feet caught in roots and twigs, a very few steps getting tiring after a while. Our steps fell into rhythm next to each other. I picked up Michael every once in a while, trying to get his mood after what happened. Even after spending so much time with him, he was so difficult to read. How can someone both wear their heart on their sleeves, yet keep it stitched tight, never letting anyone come too close? I knew he had secrets he wanted to keep close to his chest, but I wished he would just open up for me a little. The silence that hung in the air was making my skin prickle. What's your favorite animal? I was so caught up in my thought I didn't even realize I blurred the first thing that came to mind. Michael regarded me curiously, ear flicking. My favorite animal? He poured his lips in thought before his ears perked. Jellyfish. Dara. Jeszcze... Okay, I'm very confused. Bo jakby ja mam w watermarku od niedawna meduzę i jellyfish. I mean, where did you get the jellyfish? I did a double take. It was one thing for him to have an answer so readily, but the choice was something else. A jelly? Why jellyfish? I thought it would, I don't know, a bear or something. He shrugged. They're pretty to look at least from pictures I've seen. Dobra, ja już się bałam, że ty mi grzebiesz w plikach lub coś, nie wiem. Yes, I can relate to them. He said that without zero hesitation. How exactly do you relate to jellyfish? His expression was as if Deciding on the right way he could explain his answer. Let's just say I have something in common with a jellyfish. Well, one jellyfish. In what way? That they're pretty to look at? A strange noise slipped past his throat. No! You wouldn't get it. Try me. No. I groaned like a dying whale in exasperation. Shoulders sounded like I had a back problem. He's not gonna elaborate anymore, is he? He probably spotted the vein growing on my forehead as he sneaked. Relax, Firefly. You're gonna faint on the spot if you think any harder. If you're allowed to get upset about mushrooms, I'm allowed to get upset about jellyfish. To prawda. Mamy takie prawo. Hashtag jellyfish. His smile dropped for a second before his cheeky grin returned. Touch. Touch? Touch what? Touch. I stared at him, his happy grin shifting in a confused frown. Touch, well, it's like saying you're right. You mean touchy? He smiled innocently. Yeah. This man will be the death of me. Probably. He laughed at my crude up grimace, waving a hat hesitantly. What about you? What's your favorite animal? Your chickens. I want to teach you a bit. Okay, quick save. Your chickens. Really? Yeah. You would have fallen in love with the darlings. He seems pleased with that answer. You're right. Who wouldn't fall in love with a little darling? We continued with idle chatter after all. I didn't even know how much time has passed. As the tree slowly it thinned out, the sound of nature moving as the canopy started to grow sparse. Suddenly I hear the sound, yet familiar rumble of a car in the distance. I almost didn't not pick up for it, fully immersed in whatever Michael was rambling about. Something about the life cycle of a Trumpsy Crumpsy Journey or whatever it was called. Oh, Audrey, you really walked that far already? I felt Michael sighed and rushed forward. He made a sound on the surprise but followed suit. I neared the edge of the forest, just as another car drove past. I recognized my street instantly. Bringing into a light jog, I almost missed Michael while calling for my name as I ran down the road. There! My house was visible from where I stood in the street. I was breathing heavily, and by the time Michael approached my side, even barely Mikey sound as I took the sign. Oh, I missed this. I turned to thank Michael, only to start when a strange took. Ah! Okay, this is kinda cute. Sorry. People about. I couldn't see any more around, but I guess he was right to be safe. I guess this was his version of disguise. If I were to pass him on the street, I don't think I would bother to look twice. I I would wanna say thank you for your face, but listen to this, I guess. If Chekova was most underneath the scarf. He put it down. He could speak properly. Did I scare you? I got distracted. My eyes screwed from where I could see them. And I wonder how you don't get lost every 20 steps. Hey! He laughed on my offended tone. You better do not go back in there, got it? I'm not always gonna be around to find you. Who says I need you around to find me? Almost instantly. I'm serious. Don't go wandering in these woods again. Or I might have to start taking drastic measures just to make sure you stay put right where you are. I sputtered indignantly. I will, and wonder where I please. Sure. He looked over my shoulder towards my house. So that's where you live, huh? Looks cozy. I wasn't sure if he was being generous considering he lived in the wood and back end of the middle of nowhere. I suddenly perk up with a thought. Do you wanna come by? His eyes stared towards me, shock evident on his face. Me? To your house? I nodded. He froze completely. For a second I thought he stopped breathing. I would love to. I saw the barking and a shout started at us both, my body jerking forwards and close. I heard a soft rustle of his sunglasses flattened. Looking up, it was just my neighbor calling out to their dog. Oh, looks like Vida's back from college. I paused, feeling a grip tired. I looked then at his hands on my shoulder before glancing at him. Michael. I snapped back to the. Sorry. I don't think it's a good idea for me to go with you. I don't want to be seen. I deflated just a little. But you have your disguise, don't you? He took his head. I can't risk it. It's better this way. He spoke with a. Czemu my nie możemy z nim być? I mean, ja bym chciała z nim zostać. Nie, że coś, ja bym chciała z nim zostać. For real. If he wasn't willing, fine. At least I was. Before he could pick up his accessories and gently grab his wrist. Then can I come visit you instead? What? He huffed impatiently. If you won't come to me, then I will go to yours. Once again he was rendered speechless. Would you ever want to see me again? At this point I was starting to look and sound peeved. For good traits, the constant need to bird his voice higher around me was starting to get annoying. I folded my arms, looking stern. His eyes widened as in preparation, here's by a cat in the middle of skull. Michael, can you just accept the fact that maybe I enjoy your company and wouldn't mind more? I'm sorry, I just. Nobody ever. But you wanted to go home so badly. Oh, this man is hopeless. Yes, of course I do. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna forget about you completely. Besides, I promised I would show you what phone could do, didn't I? Dismiss the fact that there is probably not much I can show when there's no data in the woods. I'm sure he would intrigue by whatever dirty mobile game I had installed at the time. The point was just I wanted to see him again. So that means I get to see you again? I pick up on the eager tone in his voice, realizing he wished for the some sentiment. Yeah, I want to. Wreszcie się dogadujemy. His voice swore for a second. Firefly. Clearly he stole, laughing at himself. Coral. You can't imagine how much that means to me. A lot. It means a lot. More than you know. I know that. A great smile creeping onto my face. How is next weekend? He tilted his head. That's 7 sundowns from now? 5. He smiled wide and eyes gleaming in absolute delight. Okay, I will meet you here then. I smiled to him, figuring this was goodbye. I didn't think twice. Arms spread and wrapped around him before he could react. My cat froze from head to toe, inhaling sharply in his shoulder tenses. From a second, and I thought I should the fight or freeze respond. It took a 5 seconds before he shifted and re- reciprocate, lightly placing his hand on the small of my back in a loose hold. Fingertips sprayed accordingly along my spine. He seems to gain confidence as he wrapped his arms around me properly, a shaky sigh leaving his body as he relaxed. A faint red rumble emitted from his chest, my eyes widening with a strange feeling. Was he boring? Oh! I knew I would hear that sound before, but he was definitely boring. I didn't have time to dwell on it for long. His grip was getting tired. 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 O mało by nas nie udusił, że... No wiecie. When another car passing by made him jump and release me, I had to step away to catch my breath after the squeeze. His arms dropped to his sides with a blank stare in my direction. Oh, out of the corner of my eye, I could see his hands clenching tight as if holding himself back. I looked up at him, expecting him to say something first. Instead, he just stared at me like I grew a teared eye. I quickly cleared my throat, cheeks starting to burn. Anyway, I gave him one the shoulder. Felt like punching a snack of grains. We'll see you next weekend. Ignoring the hit on my face, I looked both ways before jogging across the street. My neighbor in the yard looked up as I approached, their eyes lighting up in recognition. Ura? Oh my god! He looks so cute! And the dog! Their hands twitched as with a frisbee in their hands as they approached. Oh, I was wondering where you been. I dropped by to give you some cake over the weekend, but I went at home, and you didn't ask for your phone and your package which were putting up, and I held my head. Hey, David, it's fine. Ah, sorry. They reached down to Badlaka's head, tiny and calmer as they asked me again. Where were you? Where have you been? I was, visiting a friend. For a digital detox of the grid and all that. They blinked, slowly nodding. Oh, that sounds exciting. By the tone of their voice, they didn't mean that at all. Oh, what about Aurora? Did you manage to find her? My mood instantly dropped. No. It's why I went away in the first place, you could say. It took a few seconds for Vida to understand what I meant. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fine. This screen is a flash of empathy on their face before they smile. Well, Blanca and I are around for the semester break. If you need anything, we should do a movie night. Maybe that will lift your spirits? I found this really good one. I would like. I did some research and I feel like it's right up your alley. Look, and I could take a quick drive to the stove. So just let us know when you're up for it. I could get you favorite snack and stuff. Aww. With one smile quick on my lips, thank you, Vida. I'll bring the orange soda. The expression and lit up happily. Take care. Bye, Michael. I was surprised to see Michael still standing by the forest edge, shocked by the our eyes made contact. His own a fear-piercing yellow shining against the shade. I gave him a big wave. It took a moment, but he waved back. Smiling to myself, unlocked the front door and let myself inside. It was Surrender standing in my doorway again. I felt like Alice, who just woke up of the end of the book. Alice, feeling like I dreamed of Wonderland. I tossed my key and my backpack by the hall carelessly before plugging my phone into the charger. I dread playing catch up with the people who might try to reach me during my absence. Work, family, friends. I groaned aloud, flopping onto the living room couch. Ah, well, at least I had this weekend to look forward to. Więc to był Mushroom Oasis. Znowu. Bardzo dziękuję wszystkim za oglądanie i miejmy tylko nadzieję, że niedługo pojawi się następny upgrade i będziemy mogli znowu zobaczyć naszego ukochanego Michaela. Bye bye!